Ago and home to the Cubs since 1916. Wrigley Field is the oldest ballpark in the National League. The Giants have some old school talent that could have played the game in any era. And tonight they open up a 3-game series against the Cubs at the friendly confines, and it's coming up next. We are in the beautiful city of Chicago. We're at Wrigley Field as this road trip begins. Game 1 of this 3-game series, Giants and Cubs. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, the Giants end up taking, they take the homestand. They go 3-2. They win the last 2 games, so they're on a little bit of a roll. And I think, Mike, they're going to need to be on a roll. This is a new Cubs team. And on the other hand, Vogelsong's pitching and pitching well.
Vogelsong's definitely going to give him a chance to win. I think that if you look at what the Giants have done this year, there's one statistic that jumps off the page. Early in the year against left-handed pitching, they were 15-8. They dominated. The last 20 games, they're 5-15. They're going to see Tsuyoshi Wada, a left-hander who doesn't throw that particularly hard. He's a finesse lefty, but a good guy to get started,
right.
A good streak against lefties, and that's going to be their key the rest of the way. They have to start doing some damage against the southpaws.
A warm night, wind is blowing out, ball's really traveling, so we'll see what happens here at Wrigley. When we come back, we will have the lineups in the first pitch right after this.
Hello, 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 hello.
Hey, Jeff, testing 1 2.
Hello, hello, hello.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
Testing 1 2.
Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Right now at Jack in the Box, try Jack's Spicy Chicken Club Combo for just $4.99 plus tax. And by Toyota, #1 in MPG, durability, and resale value. Toyota, let's go places.
You're looking outside of Wrigley Field as we get ready for Giants baseball. Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open every day. 80 degrees here at the yard. See the winds at 10 miles per hour. Humidity at 64%. It is partly cloudy. And maybe a little rain in the area. There was a big storm that went through about noon today. All right, let's take a look at the lineup for Bruce Bochy. Winners of 2 straight. It'll be Pagan, Pence, and Posey, and of course Pablo Sandoval, the cleanup hitter. Now the guy that's red hot is Michael Morse. You can see what he's done in his last 9 games. Duvall, Arias, and Crawford, and pitching and hitting 9th is Ryan Vogelsong.
On the hill tonight for the Cubs will be the left-hander Tsuyoshi Wada. Wada is not a baby. He's 33 years old. Played a long time in the Japanese league, and he is a finesse lefty. You're going to see a high 3/4 release with a fastball that's high 80s, low 90s. He'll cut, he'll sink the fastball, and he'll elevate late in the at-bat. It's a very sneaky fastball. He's got a curveball, slider, and a changeup to go with it. Throws everything anytime, and he has to mix up his pitches, but he definitely understands the art of taking the sting out of a hitter's at-bat. Take a look at the defense playing behind Tsuyoshi Wada. Starting the Cubs outfield, it'll be Coghlan, Alcantara, and Sweeney. That's your outfield. Castro and Valbuena on the left side, Baez and Rizzo on the right side. Willington Castillo, so he'll be in the squad putting down the signs.
I mentioned the Giants had won 2 straight, so have the Cubs. Cubs had a 4-game series in New York against the Mets where they lost the first 2 and came back and won the next 2. They're 28-31 at home, and they're just a game under 500 against the West, having played 27 games against the National League West. In the West, the Giants are 3.5 back of the Dodgers, and in the wild card, they own the 2nd spot. Braves are playing great. They already have jumped out to a 4-0 lead in their game. Marlins have snuck back into the race, so there's a lot going on, and those 4 teams, 5 teams, maybe even add another team, they're going to move around for a while. You see Joe Panik, who dislocated that pinky finger on his left hand, took batting practice, did all of his work before the game, but he's going to get a day. Here's the first pitch of the ball game to Pagan, and it's a called strike. So we get started 2 minutes late at 7:07. So Pagan hitting .298, falls behind 0-1, and here he hits a soft line drive to Baez, and that's how this game gets started.
All right, time now for our AT&T U-verse Rewind. We go back to Sunday and we take a look at Joe Panik and the play that caused the dislocation of his left pinky. Sliding in, could not see the base, and look at his little finger got bent back. It got totally dislocated. They were able to set it after the game. Dr. Akazuki put it right back in. He is with the team here in Chicago, and they said that good chance he'll play tomorrow. That's our AT&T U-verse Rewind.
Hunter Pence takes wide, hitting .283. 16 big flies, 53 driven in. He and Morse are tied for the lead on this Giants team in home runs. And he drives it into the gap in left center field. And this one will bounce into the vines, and Hunter Pence has a 1-out double. And it would be good news if that man got hot.
Well, look at the location. I mean, it's a mistake up, and this is not the night that you want to make mistakes up. This ballpark is playing very small, lots of wind blowing out. Yeah, this thing is just too much of a line drive. If it had any height in it at all, it would have been out of here.
So here's Buster Posey at .280. 13 home runs, 58 runs batted in. And he takes a call strike. 88 miles per hour on the radar gun here at Wrigley Field.
Well, batting practice means anything. Buster Posey put on an absolute show today at BP. It might have been the best batting practice session we ever saw him have.
And now a quick 0-2 to Giants' third place hitter.
You'll see a low strike zone tonight with Hunter Wintelstead, the plate umpire. Normally he starts off in a pretty tight zone, then he'll loosen up as the game goes on, but it's a pretty steady zone. He likes the low pitch.
And this may be playable for Rizzo at first, and he'll put it away. So 2 outs. Posey retired. And here's Pablo Sandoval. Sandoval at 281. He's got 14 home runs, 55 runs batted in. Mike mentioned Wendelstedt. Toby Basner, who we're watching for the first time at first, and it's DeMuro and Estabrook at second and third. So here's the Panda. And Sandoval pops it up. First pitch. And that'll end the inning. So Pence doubles. He's left stranded. Vogelsong coming out. And the Cubs are coming up. 0-0. Oakland, Baez, and then Anthony Rizzo. And you can see where he ranks with those home runs. He's second in the National League. It'll be Castro, Valbuena, and then Casilla. It'll be Alcantara in the 7th slot, followed by Sweeney, and then Wada will hit 9th.
On the hill tonight for the Giants will be the 2011 National League All-Star Ryan Vogelsong, making start number 25. 7-8 so far with a 3.71 ERA in 24 starts. This is a guy who just hasn't got a lot of support this year. He has received 0 runs of support in 8 of his 24 starts. However, 2-0 with a 1.64 ERA in his last 3 starts. They get him a few runs, and he shines. When he's right, you're going to see a fastball that's low 90s. He'll 2 and 4 seam it, give you a curveball, slider, and a changeup. Let's take a look at the defense playing behind Vogelsong tonight. Starting in the outfield. From left to right, it'll be Morse, Pagan, and Pence. Pretty good arms across the board. Crawford, Sandoval on the left side. Arias and Duvall on the right side of the infield. Buster Posey will be in the squad, putting down the signs. Ryan Vogelsong, lifetime against the Cubs, 5-5.
And the pitch to Coughlin. And Coughlin takes a call strike, hitting .276. 6 home runs, 23 driven in. Sandoval in at third, and Vogelsong runs that pitch in tight. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Baez to follow, and then Rizzo. And this is foul down the left field line.
Let's take a look at our Nissan keys to the game. And for Ryan Vogelsong, establish inside. When the wind blows out, you've got to pitch in. And right now, this is a live ballpark. And on the flip side of that coin, for Giants hitters, let the home runs happen. Don't go up there trying to hit them, because you will not. Good swings get home runs. And those are our Nissan keys to the game.
Got him. Time for a Togo's big play the Togo's way. Yesterday in New York at Citi Field, Javier Baez hit a home run estimated at 434 feet. Yowzer. How about that?
That's a big one.
However, what's the downside?
Well, he's had 60 at-bats. He has struck out 24 times. So it tells you he doesn't have a lot of adjustment that he's doing with 2 strike counts, and he's just trying to kill it.
First pitch is way up high. May have been a breaking ball. 233. He's got 5 home runs. He's got 9 driven in. And this is lifted out of play.
Well, that's a healthy swing right there. And you can get the idea right off the get-go that he likes the ball middle away. He likes to extend those arms. That's what he did down in AAA. 130 strikeouts and 434 at-bats, but he hit 260 with 24 doubles, 23 homers, and 2 triples. So he's got some TNT in the bat head, but he's got holes, and he will swing. Nice little 2-seam grip on the changeup, bringing that thing around that outside corner. Baez gave up on that ball early. You can't do that with Vogelsong. He really understands movement, and he's been throwing darts lately. And when he's on, he's hitting corners.
So Baez works the count to 3-2.
Don't have to throw this guy a lot of strikes, because he will chase. He's only walked twice in 62 at-bats.
And he takes a wicked swing, and it's a foul straight back.
That is not a 2-strike hack. That is a backyard wiffle ball game hack. Now this is 3-2. Yeehaw! He's trying to hit one across the street and onto the United building across the left field side of this ballpark. That is a long way. That's what he's trying to hit it.
Well, when you get your whole body and you start to wind up when you swing, it's probably going to leave that middle part of the plate exposed. So it stays at 3-2. If they back it up and go back inside again. Outfield straightaway. And the walk. That's called the pregame exchange with Greg Papa jinx.
Well, he is hard to walk.
I believe I did say he's probably not going to walk tonight.
That's all right.
Well, I'll just blame Greg. Here's Rizzo hitting 276. You saw the 28 home runs when we did the lineups. Hit one yesterday in Citi Field. And that one's to the back foot, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Outfield straightaway. And on a night like tonight, deep. see the landing spots of the home runs off the bat of Anthony Rizzo. Darrell Evans would be proud of that.
Yes, he would.
And you can add another dot to that graphic, and that's out of the ballpark. And that's home run number 29.
Yeah, they love this kid, and this really has been a breakout year for him. He was the hottest man on the planet right after All-Star break. Boy, he really opened some eyes. You see the little leg kick, and he really gets a lot of backside into it. And here he backspins it, drop that foot, stay back, and just unload off that left hip. And on a night where you got plenty of carry, he'll tell you how much power he has. That's Barry Bonds-like right there.
There's a strike to Castro. Starlin Castro hitting .285. $13 home runs, 64 runs batted in. See that this ball, how far it will carry tonight, and that's with 1 foot on the track. And I thought it was a pop-up to the shortstop.
Well, it is a scary environment to pitch in, but yet you really have to establish the inside corner. You have to do it.
And it's not just the wind, it's the heat as well. 80 degrees at first pitch. As this is lifted down the left field line, it's a long run, and it could be that Crawford's going to put it away, and he does, as he bumps slightly into Morse, and that'll end the inning. 2 runs and a walk and a home run. It'll be Morse, Duvall, and Arias coming up. Cubs on top, 2-zip.
To you by Play Flag Football. Register your child today at playflagfootball.com.
A 2-run home run, Anthony Rizzo, and the Giants will now play from behind. And it'll be Morris, Duvall, and Arias. Tsuyoshi Wada allowed a double, and that was it. Pretty good amount of Giants fans in town for this series.
I think there's a lot of Giants fans living here in Chicago. Get a chance to put their orange and black on, head out to Wrigley. But walking around Michigan Avenue and doing a little shopping today, we saw a lot of Giants jerseys, hats. A lot of fun.
1-0 to Morse. And that's fouled into the glove of Castillo. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Michael Morse has been the hottest man on this Giants team, perhaps in the league. And he's been on base his last 9 times. 7 by way of hits, a couple of walks thrown in there. A lot of extra base hits.
On the homestand, he was 9 for 14. That's a pretty good homestand. One ball and 2 strikes. And that'll end that run.
See a lot of elevated fastballs from Wada. That was perfectly placed. Well, Monday, August 25th, is the Mystery Bobblehead Prize Package special event. Your special event package will include a mystery bag including 1 Giants 2014 bobblehead and an additional Giants item, 2 prizes, as well as a game to see the Giants take on the Rockies. Go to sfgiants.com/special events.
Here's Duvall hitting 196, a couple of home runs, 3 driven in. And he takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Arias to follow. Nice crowd tonight here at Wrigley. Not a sellout. Only 2 throwing strikes.
Now he is definitely a strike thrower. I mentioned he was came from the Japanese leagues where he was 107 and 61. 2003 to 2011. Struck out 1,300 hitters. He walked only 395. And he's a strike throwing machine. Played for Fukuoka, and he won 10 or more 7 years in a row. He had 17 wins in 2010. It was the most valuable player in the league in 2010. So he came to the States with credentials. 2012, once he got over here, he had to have Tommy John surgery, so it really set him back.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Hit into center field with room is Alcantara, and he makes the catch. 2 out.
One thing we know about the Japanese pitchers that come over to the big leagues here in the States is when they get here, they know what they're doing. They understand the movement of the fastball. They can throw 2 or 3 different specialty pitches at any time. But it's the other things, the way they hold the runners on, the way they feel their position. I mean, they're polished professional athletes. They really are. Wada, no exception.
Here's Arias. Arias hitting 196. He's got 10 runs batted in.
Take a look at the pitches that he throws. Fastball, you're going to see 54% of the time. Then slider, curveball, changeup. But he mixes them up, and he'll throw them at any count. And it's how he locates all those pitches as well. You don't see a lot of mistakes out over the plate in the strike zone. If he's over the plate, he's usually above the letters when he elevates that fastball.
Two and two.
And how do you beat a guy like this? You take what he gives you. If he's pitching and you have to go the opposite way to beat him, do it.
Arias down the left field line, and that is a doink double. And I think he'll take it. Arias didn't even know. I don't know. I'm not sure he knew where the ball was when he hit it.
I'm not sure that it made a noise when the ball hit the bat. Fastball just goes right up the bat, and now all of a sudden he goes, "Hey,
I got a shot."
That's a knock. No chance for Cogler, the left fielder. They were playing the left center field gap, pinching him to the middle of the field. See many defenses play the players to pull anymore. They just take away the middle for the most part.
Here's Crawford. Crawford takes a strike. Crawford hitting .225, 8 home runs, 49 driven in. And they're going to say Crawford went around. Crawford on the homestand went 2 for 15. Remember, Bruce Bochy set Crawford down at the beginning of the homestand. He's had an off day Monday at home, an off day Thursday, off day yesterday. And this is hit into the hole. And an off-balance throw is not in time. So Crawford beats it out. It's going to give Vogelsong a shot.
Now, once the ball got past Valbuena, the third baseman, it was going to be very difficult for Castro to get set up in time. You see, just really falling back with momentum going out to left field. Not a chance to put a whole lot on that throw to first. So at the very least, the Giants get Vogelsong up this inning. And Vogelsong's been swinging the bat better. And these are the chances you have to take advantage of.
He's 5 for 42 on the season. And the first pitch is high, 1-0. And a strike. So Wada comes back with a strike.
One thing you cannot do right now, if you're Brandon Crawford at first base, you cannot get picked off.
No.
This pitcher has to take his at bat this inning.
And another strike. So it's 1-2. Baez really playing Vogelsong to pull. And he got him, and that'll end the inning. Giants strand a pair. Wellington Castillo will lead things off. Brought to you by the Oakland Raiders. Season and single game tickets on sale now. Call 1-800-RAIDERS or visit Raiders.com today. 2-0 Chicago on the Anthony Rizzo home run. So Vogelsong back out. The Steinbergs are here. Their record this year on the road is 33-26. You know how I know that? That's the Giants' record on the road.
They have not missed one road game, nor will they the rest of the way. And 93 years old. Gamer.
Well, Buster's group is here.
Yeah, Buster's posse.
And Castilla hitting .238 takes the first pitch wide. 1 ball and no strikes. And a high breaking ball, 2-0. Alcantara's on deck. .3-0, so Vogelsong not close in 3 pitches. And Hunter Wendelstedt said, all right, that's close enough for me.
That's really his zone. I mean, he likes those knee-high strikes. But you got to let him know you're going to throw strikes. Then it starts to grow a little bit.
There's a souvenir. It's 3-2.
You know, coming into Chicago, where they have basically unloaded a lot of players, they're giving the new guys a chance. People are talking about the Northsiders again. They're pretty excited about what they're seeing from the Cubs. And this is a dangerous team to play because they are as loose can be. They have nothing they're playing for except for next year.
Pagan at the wall. 1 out.
One thing about the Cubs, they're young and they're physical. A lot of young players who don't quite have a lot of polish yet, but they've got a lot of physical talent. So it's the Cubs feeling that they're going to bring these young guys in now and give them a chance to get some at bats and basically learn to play up here at the big league level.
Here's Alcantara, the switch hitting center fielder, and he takes high. 1-0.
See how good of an athlete Alcantara is. He was the second baseman at the start of the year, and when they brought up Baez, they moved him out to center field.
Ball back.
But he's another one of these guys. He's got all the talent in the world, just basically learning how to play up here. Just 22 years old.
He's from the Dominican Republic. And he takes that pitch down low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Dodgers and Padres tonight. Correa for the Dodgers, Kennedy for the Padres. And a fair ball past Duvall. Hence gets to it, and it's a 1-out double.
Ball hit right down the line. Duvall to a dive, could not quite get to it. Once it gets down the line, it's going to be at least a pair. Nice job from Hunter Pence to come over and cut it off. With Alcantara's speed, I mean, a chance there he was going to get 3. So not getting that extra 90 feet is a big play.
It is, because here's Sweeney now with a runner at second. Sweeney at 262. Sweeney and Nate Sherholtz were taking up a spot on the roster. They both are left-handed hitters. They both play the outfield, and it was about a week ago the Cubs released Nate Sherholtz. And I think I saw yesterday that the Nationals had picked up Nate and they sent him to their AAA team.
Sweeney, not one of these young players. He's a veteran, 29 years old, in his 7th year at the big league level. Sweeney came up with the White Sox in 2006. Then he went to Oakland and was there for several years, then to Boston. And then last year came to the Cubs.
Two balls and a strike now to Sweeney. Very valuable to have guys like Sweeney on your bench.
Well, especially when you have a bunch of young players that don't have a lot of big league time. I mean, these are the guys that basically set the tone in the clubhouse. They're the guys that will come up to you after you made a mistake, a mental mistake, and set you straight. And you have a veteran like Sweeney. It does take a little pressure off of the coaching staff, the manager.
Tried to get Sweeney to get after that breaking ball. He didn't. 3 balls and 1 strike with the pitcher on deck.
Trying to get that inside corner going, and they just can't establish the strike. And Sweeney's laying off all the little teasers down below the zone.
Second walk issued by Vogelsong. So here's Wada. Wada's 0 for 10 on the season. So that would lead you to believe that he definitely is going to be laying down a bunt.
Yeah, probably for all 3 strikes. Because those numbers aren't scaring anybody.
And he bunts it foul right in the direction of Adam Duvall, and it's 0-1. Outfield shadow, as you would expect with Wada. Rooftops, not bad tonight.
Yeah, nice crowd. Hot weather, August crowd. Really are fun seats up there. It's a great camaraderie. They get up there and sing, and pretty good party going at times.
Bunts it to Vogelsong. So Wada does his job. And now Coughlin will hit with 2 runners aboard in scoring position.
Coughlin has had a good year. He really has put himself back in the mix. Former Rookie of the Year with the Florida Marlins. And there for a while, I mean, he just sort of disappeared. This year, he's really had a nice, solid year for the Cubs.
And this is down the left field line and out of play. Sandoval and Morse both gave a token look at it. So Vogelsong rubs up the new baseball given to him by Hunter Wendelstedt. Coghlan struck out looking to open up the bottom of the first. And Vogelsong and Buster Posey trying to get on the same page to call the right pitch here to Chris Coghlan. And a good pitch it is, and it's 0-2.
Pretty unusual to come here to Chicago like the Giants have this road trip. All 3 games are going to be night games. We found out the Cubs have scheduled 40 night games, and they can go up to 43. They've held a couple back in case there's a national game that they need to broadcast, which would be done at night. But 40 games now at night for the Cubs.
Coghlan almost lost the bat. He fouls it back. It stays 0-2. Yeah, that is definitely different from certainly when you and I played, where there were 0 night games.
Yeah, there were no lights.
And then when they got the lights, they started to play a few night games.
From AT&T Park to Wrigley Field, we bleed orange. Yes, you do.
Up high, 1-2. You saw that woman behind that sign. She had a big yawn. And back in the day when there were day games here, that's what a lot of visiting players did. A lot of yawning.
Yeah, a lot of guys that just couldn't quite get enough sleep here in this city. It was a great home field advantage. "40 pitches now for Vogelsong. That's a lot. Enough to turn your hair orange.
Enough to do it.
Vogelsong not giving in, still trying to make the perfect pitch on the corner with that open base.
Careful, that almost stumbled off the back of the mound.
Running at third base, boy, you really have to be careful about once you get on that rubber, getting off it. You see the hitter's background.
Ooh, got a hanger. Many years ago, before you and I played here, there was no hitting background. They just had the bleachers back there.
Yeah, with a lot of white shirts. Talk about a tough place to hit. Batter's eye, the dark green spot there out in center field, that was all stands. Every day was a day game, and back then everybody wore white shirts to kind of stay cool. Good luck with that trying to hit.
Side retired on the line drive to left. For the Giants, it'll be the top of the order. That means Pagan, Pence, Posey, Sandoval, Morse, and Duvall.
Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by When the Game Stands Tall, in theaters August 22nd.
Here at Wrigley Field, it's the Cubs 2 and the Giants nothing. And it'll be the second time around now for these Giants. He's ready for a ball. Ready.
Yes, he is. The old left-hander.
Either that or he had a bad hot dog.
Could be.
Here's Pagan taking all the way, and he takes a breaking ball for a strike.
Although it's hard to find a bad hot dog.
I was going to say there's probably no such thing as a bad hot dog.
If you ever have a chance to get here, get a Chicago-style hot dog. It's pretty good.
Hit up the middle, and Pagan's got a base hit.
Well, Candlestick Park is officially closed, and you can own a piece of Candlestick Park. The orange and red historic seats are on sale for $749 a pair. And for a limited time, autographed seats are available. Seats that include Mays, McCovey, Montana, Will Clark, Dwight Clark, and many more. Information, go to sfgiants.com/candlestickmemories.
Here's Pence. Pence doubled in the first inning. Pagan with his lead. How about a Candlestick Park seat signed by all the clubbies that the Giants have had, main clubbies? There wouldn't be too many names on there.
Well, Mike Murphy.
He would get a seat to himself.
You talking about visiting clubbies too?
Sure. Swing and a miss. 1 and 2.
Well,
Harvey Hauser-Knee would have to be on there.
Harvey. Mario Alioto. I mean, that's just, it's only been a few. First got to the big leagues, Mike Murphy was the visiting clubhouse clubby.
Pence fouls it back. One ball and 2 strikes. And a soft toss to first. They're going to try to figure out. The guy that came from New York was Eddie Logan. He'd have to be on that seat. 1 and 2. Buster Posey on deck. Hit on the ground towards the hole. Cut off at third. And not in time. Well, Buena made a nice play, but the speed of Hunter Pence tough to double up.
Right, and Javier Baez made a pretty good play turning that thing. I didn't think that with the speed of Pagan that he was going to have a chance to get much on the throw. The fact that he got it over to Rizzo at all is pretty impressive. There's the Valbuena to Baez. They just missed turning the pair. That would have been an exceptional double play.
Here's Buster Posey, who popped out in the first inning.
Baez got a good arm. It's our first look at it.
And an off-speed pitch is high. 1 ball and no strikes. Pence reaches on the fielder's choice. Giants trail 2-0. And a strike, and that evens the count.
You talk about the lights here at Wrigley Field. There are no lights. There are no light standards out in the outfield, so all of the light has to come from on top of the stands behind the field. And you can see there are dark spots out there towards center.
Posey pops one the other way, but Sweeney's coming in, and he makes the catch. Here's our Geico quote. Chicago columnist Roger Simon: putting lights in Wrigley Field is like putting aluminum siding on the Sistine Chapel. Come on.
Well, it was not met with a lot of applause. Let's put it this way. There was curiosity, but having been on 5 Cubs teams where there were no lights at all, and every day is a day game, when you start to get into the heat of the summer, you wilt. And back in the day, a lot of guys couldn't afford to live downtown. They had to live out in the suburbs, so you were basically in rush hour traffic to and from the ballpark.
Here's Sandoval. 1 ball and no strikes.
And I did not like that about being a young father. I mean, you get up, it's 8 o'clock, you're heading out to the ballpark, get to see your kids for an hour or so, and you come back, you don't get home till 6:37, depending on the traffic.
Pop up down the right field line. Sweeney giving chase, and he's going to just back off at the last second. That's one where you see some of those outfielders slide into the wall to keep them from banging into it hard.
Well, it is padded. You have a big exposed area at the base of the pads on the walls. Not a lot of territory over there.
One ball and 1 strike.
That was a hard part about playing here. You get back 6:30, 7 o'clock. You're only going to be with the kids for about an hour, so you get your children for about a couple hours a day.
Sandoval skies one to left. Coghlan back at the wall. He's got it. And that'll end the inning. The scary yard tonight. 2-0 Cubs.
Is brought to you by the Solar Company. Not just any solar company, the solar company. Switch to solar and save.
Here at Wrigley Field, 2-0 Chicago. Bottom of the 3rd. And it'll be Baez, Rizzo, Castro. Wilkerson looking for a nice clean inning as Baez goes around. Baez drew a walk in the 1st inning. He was aboard when Rizzo left the yard. And I mean, he did leave the yard.
Yes, he did.
The 0-1 is way outside and low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Baez was picked, and Panic that same year was picked later on. Out of play.
That is a healthy cut. Just unload, and I mean, this is backyard wiffle ball. It's your last swing of the day, and you got to go have dinner.
High, 2-2. Here's the 2-2. He got him. And Baez knew it. That's the second strikeout.
Now that's the key for Vogelsong when he's hitting his corners. That was perfect.
Rizzo hit one over everything.
It's got extended. And the way this ballpark was playing at the start of the ball game, pretty hefty wind blowing out. And he goes right into Sheffield easily. Wind blowing not so hard now.
And a foul back, and it's 0-1.
I mean, that's a swing that he's not getting cheated either. Second in the National League in home runs, trailing only Giancarlo Stanton, the Marlins.
Not a bad pitch, and there's that pitch you're talking about to keep the hitters honest.
That's the one you want him to swing at, the one that jams him.
Nope, he misses back-to-back, 2-1.
You know, and I think it was a pretty good trade for both organizations. Rizzo originally with the Padres came over here in the deal that sent Andrew Cashner, the big starting pitcher, to the Padres. Well, both guys really good players. Guys that could be all-stars for a long time.
So Rizzo will look for a pitch he can unload on right here. 3-1. And he's going to hit this one down the right field line. See if Pence can keep Rizzo at first. Here he spins and throws, and Rizzo's got a double. So here's Starlin Castro.
Well, count leverage. They go inside. He digs it out. He's a short arm swinger for a tall guy. His arms are short. And really does a nice job of beating that pitch. He throws a cut right on his hands. That's right where Vogelsong wanted to put that ball. Rizzo 6'3", 240, but he doesn't have long arms, and he can beat that inside pitch.
There's John Miller. John will be over here for 4, 5, and 6. Here's Castro, and Castro takes a call strike. Castro hit a fly ball deep to Pagan, and it was caught in the first inning. And this is fouled the other way. I'm going to show you something. Watch where Arias, he moves down the line, and Hunter Pence is going to pick up the target of where that infielder sets up, correct?
Yes.
He threw it right over his head.
Right over his head.
And the throw was only about 30 feet off line. As an infielder, you got to get as close as you can to being in direct line to that base. It was hard for Arias. Look, he was playing him to pull. This is hit on the ground to Sandoval. High throw. Got him. And that'll bring up Valbuena.
Duvall's 6'1" in height, and he used every bit of
he did.
of 6'1" there to pull that ball down. It's the rook, Adam Duvall.
And a strike to Valbuena. Valbuena popped one up down the left field line that Crawford made a long run for it, and he put it away just in front of Michael Morris. That ended the first inning. And another strike to make it 0-2. So Vogelsong painting here in the third inning.
I don't think Valbuena's too enthusiastic about that change.
I think you're right. And maybe a little bit of a beef.
Well, that's a pretty good stank guy. He dropped on Hunter Wendelstedt.
Not the first time stank guy to the Wendelstedt family.
Hunter Wendelstedt is his dad, Harry Wendelstedt, was an umpire for a long time. He was in our generation.
And one of my favorites.
Yeah, he was a good guy. Good umpire, too. So
one of my favorites.
Hunter carrying the torch, second generation. Built just like the old man, by the way.
Didn't start out that way, but as the years go on. In the dirt, it's 1-2. From the pitch crossing home plate to the scoreboard here in center field, I cannot beat the scorekeeper in the changing of the pitch.
No, he's the fastest in baseball.
It's 1-2. Got him, and that'll end the inning. We'll head to the fourth. John Miller will be here. I'll see you back in the seventh. It's 2-0 Chicago.
Brought to you by Sonoma Raceway. The Verizon IndyCar Series returns to Sonoma Raceway on August 22nd to 24th for the Go Pro Grand Prix of Sonoma.
Welcome back to the friendly confines of Wrigley Field. Giants trailing the Cubs as we head to the top of the fourth inning, 2-0. And here to tell you all about it on play-by-play, my old pal John Miller.
All right, and it will be Michael Morse to lead off. Morse, who struck out his first time. He'll be followed by Adam Duvall and then Joaquin Arias. Giants have had 4 hits, but no runs yet. Morse, who was so hot during the homestand, especially that final weekend against the Phillies before the Giants hit the road. Ball 1, too high.
One of the few times Wada hasn't gotten strike 1. He's done a nice job of mixing that first pitch in and getting it over. Haven't had a lot of guys swinging at the first pitch from Wada, and that's because he's mixed it up so well.
And that's back out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Wada has been pitching well. He's had 6 previous starts for the Cubs and a 3.15 earned run average. The batting average against him is only 236. And a high fastball. That's similar to the pitch with which he struck out Morris back in the 2nd inning.
And that's something he does a lot of. I mean, that's not a mistake. That's where he wants to throw it. I would be surprised to see him do it again. If he knows the guy's going to follow, he'll keep climbing that ladder.
And he struck him out. Number 1.
Back foot slider, and he could not have put it in a better place. And that's how you take advantage of a 1-2 count.
So here comes Adam Duvall now. Duvall flied out to right center his first time. The wind we had blowing out toward right field was with some gusto early in the game. Almost disappeared, and now it's picking up just a little bit again. Not a whole lot, though.
And the old saying about Wrigley Field is if you don't like the weather, just wait an inning or 2. You might get weather that you like. Wind will come in. But generally speaking, when it's blowing out, it's coming from the southwest and it's warm. And when it blows in, that's when it cools off, and that's when it's very difficult to hit a home run. So depending on the day you pitch, it has a lot to do with your ERA here. If you have a lot of starts as a Cub pitcher with the wind blowing in, your ERA is going to be around 3 or less.
A foul tip right off the mask. Wellington Castillo, the catcher.
Caught him flush. Every time you see a ball bounce straight down and come back towards the pitcher, you know that was a direct hit. Harry Windestead, or Hunter Windestead, Harry's kid, giving Castillo a long time to get the stars out of his mask. I mean, this is direct hit right in the chin.
In the right center field, Sweeney. Plenty of room. 2 down. 2 down, nobody out for the Giants here in the 4th inning, and Joaquin Arias will come up. The Atlanta Braves on the out-of-town scoreboard with a 10-2 lead over the Pirates. The Pirates have lost 6 in a row. The Braves have won 4 in a row, and they lead 10-2 in Pittsburgh. Back of Aaron Harang. That's in the last of the 7th there. Giants are trailing here 2-0 in the 4th. And that's a called strike. This is not the only game going on in Chicago tonight. The South Side, the White Sox are also at home playing the Baltimore Orioles. Another orange and black team. All the orange and black teams are in Chicago at the same time. And there's the score on the hand-operated Wrigley Field scoreboard, 1-1. Jose Abreu in the 1st inning for the White Sox hit his 32nd home run. And there's that Atlanta-Pittsburgh score. A ball and 2 strikes now. And the Cardinals are going ahead of the Reds 1-0. The Reds are struggling big time since the All-Star break. Back out of play. Arias, by the way, hit a double, kind of lobbed it down the left field line, just fair, and got an easy double out of it. back in the second inning.
Well, we didn't think it made a noise when they hit the bat. Like he sort of threw it out there without using the bat.
Here's Castro, and he juggled it, and I don't know if he was going to have a chance to throw out Arias anyway. Arias runs well, and I don't know how Arias hit. He must have been taking some batting tips from Pablo Sandoval.
Well, I mean, this thing was about 6 inches off the ground. And again, just get in the protect mode, finds a hole. I mean, for the most part of this year, every time he hit the ball hard, he got nothing for it. Tonight, he's got the magic wand-do going. It's his second hit.
So a little magic wand-do action there. Even the first one, maybe, I guess you could say the same thing. Although,
oh, absolutely a magic wand-do hit.
Crawford, did he swing? Yes, he did. It's 0-1. Crawford got an infield hit his first time. Giants have 5 hits now. Arias has 2 of them. Joe Panic hit in the cage earlier tonight. Took 25 swings off a tee. Said it went fine. That's outside of the fastball. 1-1 the count. And then took batting practice on the field with the rest of his teammates.
Took ground balls too. He put his the injured finger is the little finger on his glove hand. He put it in there with no protective piece on it. Total commando.
There he is. He got a little splint on it at the moment. But he was determined to show that he was available for this game to help if needed. Right there at second, Baez. That's all for Crawford and the Giants. Giants are down 2-0. We go to the last of the fourth. Ryan Vogelsong back to the mound.
By authority of the San Francisco Giants, it may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
Well, the Rockies are in town next week, and the series is full of special events. Tuesday, August 26th is Bruce Lee night. All special event ticket buyers receive a collector's edition Bruce Lee Giants figurine. And Wednesday, the 27th, is Irish night. Join the pregame Irish Heritage Night party and receive a commemorative Irish Giant cap. Reminder, to receive the giveaway items for these events, you must purchase a special event ticket. Go to sfgiants.com/special events and check it out.
The Rockies swept a doubleheader from the Reds Sunday at Coors Field, and they did it in rather stunning fashion in the first game. They were down 9-5 in the last of the ninth inning, and they got 5 runs to win it. Here's ball 1 from Vogelsong to Castillo, who flied out deep to left center his first time. Alcantara is on deck, and then Sweeney due up third. The 6, 7, and 8 spots in the Cubs batting order coming up. Here in the 4th inning, the Cubs lead 2-0. Ooh, a little bit high.
Not going to get many belt high strikes from Wendelstedt. He's always liked the knees.
Three and 0. The Reds closer came in to start that 9th inning Sunday in Denver. Aroldis Chapman, and he walked the first 4 hitters he faced, and they took him out. And then come to find out, his arm was a little bit sore. 3-1 the count now to Castillo, and ultimately the Rockies, who've been struggling enormously, turned that into a 5-run inning and won the game 10-9. They won the nightcap 10-5. And that's the best day they've had in a long, long time. The Rockies have been struggling horribly.
Well, they got Michael Kadire off the disabled list.
He hit for the cycle in one of those games.
It was game 1. Well, I'm not sure which game it was, but a cycle. It's a nice way to come off the DL.
3-2 the count to Castillo. And the Rockies tonight are facing the red-hot Kansas City Royals, and they have a 1-0 lead in the last of the 3rd against James Shields and the Royals. The Royals have gone 21-5 in the last month.
Giants were impressed by him.
It's a foul. It'll reach all the way back onto the rooftop. Still 3-2. Vogelsong, who had thrown 61 pitches through 3 innings, is in quite a battle here with Castillo to start the 4th inning. This will be the 8th pitch just to Castillo. Two nothing Cubs in the 4th. Little bloop and 1 away. He might have broken his bat on that one.
Ooh, it sounded like it. That's a good sound, John. That's better than a Christmas Carol right there. If you're a pitcher.
Take a listen.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Grab some pie and meat.
Here comes Alcantara. Alcantara hit a double his first time. Speedy left-handed hitter. And that's off the inside ball. 2-0 the Cubs are leading. Arismendi Alcantara. Only 5 feet 10 inches tall. Only 22 years old, from the Dominican Republic. And the foul out of play off to the left. Ball on the strike. The Cubs got the 2 runs in the first inning. A walk to Baez, the impressive slugging rookie. And then a long 2-run homer by Anthony Rizzo with the wind behind it. And out onto Sheffield Avenue in right center field. Quite a blast. It has been the only scoring up till now. 2-0 the Cubs ahead.
Really about the only mistake that Vogelsong has made up in this game. Vogelsong shook off 5 signs, and sometimes a pitcher will just do that just to let a hitter get a little ice down up there. I mean, it makes a catcher wonder what the heck's going on. When you put all the signs down, the guy shakes you off.
Penn starts in, now goes back a little bit. Out number 2. That one carried well, and the wind has picked up again. More of a crosswind, across from left toward right, it appears.
Well, if you look at the flags on the left field foul pole, you get an idea just how stiff it is. And this is the flags above the center field scoreboard. There's the flags you're talking about, the left field foul pole. So it's going. I mean, right field, you think, yeah, it's an easy night.
Ryan Sweeney takes a called strike. Sweeney walked his first time. He's the 8th base hitter. 2 down, nobody on. Cubs 2, Giants nothing. First of a 3-game series Again, a 5:05 start tomorrow and Thursday from Wrigley. It's Pacific time. 0-2 the count to Sweeney. That's there for strike 3 called. And Sweeney's arguing about it as Posey goes to the backstop to retrieve it and throws out Sweeney. Sweeney just seems to be so downtrodden about that call. He just could not run. We're going to the 5th inning. Vogelsong will be coming up. Then Pagan and Pence. And it is 2-0 Chicago. Major League history, August the 19th, right there in the middle, 1957. The Giants, the then New York Giants, board of directors had an emergency meeting, and there was a vote, and the vote was 9-1 for moving to San Francisco. And Horace Stoneham, the owner of the ball club, announced the results of that vote to everybody on this date, 1957, 57 years ago. Also on this date, 1965, in this ballpark, Jim Maloney, Northern California native, Jim Maloney pitched a 10-inning no-hitter. He struck out 12 and he walked 10. 10 walks. And here is Vogelsong. He won the game 1-0.
That's too many.
You know what's cool? I think if you go on YouTube, you can see the last 3 innings in color of the WGN telecast of that game. And that is really cool to see. To see Jim Maloney. Pete Rose was a young player in that team. Veda Pinson, East Bay native, was the center fielder. And of course Billy Williams, Ernie Banks, Ron Santo, all the Cubs greats, all Hall of Famers. Even though the Cubs themselves were not that good, they had some outstanding players. Wada to Vogelsong, and there was Castro, and he'll let Baez take it.
Well, Jim Maloney, a Californian, we still see him occasionally come to the ballpark, especially when Cincinnati comes to town. And he threw rockets. I mean, he threw really hard. And that was the back in the day where nobody really paid too much attention to the pitch count. Not if you had a guy like Maloney that threw as hard as he did.
Well, I can't imagine what the pitch count would have been with 12 strikeouts, 10 walks, and throwing for 10 innings.
Hey, it had to be 180.
And he had on this telecast, and you can see the telecast. It's really cool to take a look at it. I believe it's the oldest known color telecast that's available on video. Also on this date, Eddie Gaedel, 3 feet 7 inches tall, led off a game for the St. Louis Browns with Bill Veeck. And the idea was he was tiny, and he got down into a crouch, and he led off with a walk, and they put in a pinch runner. And that was his only career plate appearance. He wore the number 1/8. Eddie Gaedel.
Well, there was no strike zone there.
So Veeck thought, hey, we could always get the first batter of the game on base.
Well, I guess that's a pretty good train of thought. I mean, why would you use that guy in a playoff? I mean, what a weapon. The only thing is, somebody somewhere down the line was going to say, the heck with this. I'm just going to drill him.
Why waste 4 pitches?
Yeah, then Eddie would pretty much say, I'm done.
Well, I think there was concern about that. And I don't remember the complete story, but I think the league president, somebody got involved and said, no. Eddie Gaedel's career was over really before it ever got started.
But he was a big leaguer.
Got that 1 plate appearance.
That's more than Herb Washington ever got.
Hurricane Herb, who stole a lot of bases.
And how many World Series rings does he have?
His first year was my first year, 1974. The A's won the World Series that year, so he got a World Series ring out of it. Into the gap in left center field. Right up over the 368 marker. And a double for Pagan, his second hit. Sixth hit for the Giants. 3 of them have been doubles.
Stake at the bell, pretty much the same location that Hunter Pence hit his double back in the first inning off of Wada. Finds a gap, and now with 1 out, Giants making some noise. And this is the time through the lineup where the Giants just start to put a few dings on the scoreboard. They've seen Wada a couple times. They've gauged his fastball. They know the movement. They've seen his specialty pitches. Now they should have a pretty good plan as to how they're going to beat him.
Pence did rip 1 out into left center in the first inning for a double. Hit into a force play his next time.
Yeah, Wendell said the boiler.
Must have been a foul. No signal by Wendell. Said he had other problems. Although we broadcasters, maybe the catcher could signal foul ball when the umpire's in distress. Hunter Pence. We talked to Hunter Wendelstedt, the son of Harry Wendelstedt, a great umpire for a long, long time. In the days where they had National League and American League umpires.
Right in the middle of the chest protector. He said, 2 thumbs up are good.
Universal signal.
Yeah, 2 thumbs up. That's a good sign. That's better than the 1 thumbs up.
Or the 2 thumbs up, also the universal signal for. We both recommend this movie to you. And that was a show here in Chicago, right? Roger Ebert, Gene Siskel.
Yeah.
The 2 movie reviewers. Had a national TV show for a long time. If they liked the movie, they gave it a thumbs up. 1 ball, 1 strike to Hunter Pence. And off the outside. Giants fans are hoping to give a thumbs up to this game here sooner rather than later. Runner in scoring position. The big hitters are up. Pence, Posey on deck. Pablo after him. Pagan, a fast runner at second. Baez playing almost up the middle for Pence at second base. And he chased. 2-2.
Change up down below the knees. You see the defense. They give Pence the line at first base. Play the right side of the infield to pull, but not so much the left side.
And he got straight up on the left side. Got in on him with the fastball. Back to the screen. Giants on their road graze. In the dirt, blocked by Castillo, keeps it in front of him. Pagan has to hold it second. And now it's a full count to Hunter Pence. Pence has this that white sleeve on his left arm. You think that's one of those things to kind of help him out a little bit? It's not really a shirt sleeve. He's only got it on the one arm.
He's got a hot spot in his elbow or perhaps up his arm. It just provides a little additional warmth. It's comfortable.
3-2. Off-speed pitch is skied into right center, and Sweeney almost fell over, but he righted himself just in time to retire Pence.
Wanted not giving in to the fastball count, the 3-2 pitch. I mean, he's not going to do that. He's going to finesse you. And here's that little stumble we're talking. Yep. But plenty of time to get it right.
Yeah. Looked like as soon as he stumbled, he started having a little conversation with himself, like, oh, for goodness sakes, come on.
Think anybody saw that? It's a big at bat in this game right here.
Buster has popped out twice, once to the first baseman and once to very shallow right. Down at second, 2 down. Fastball was low. 1 ball, no strikes.
The rain starting to fall.
A rain shower falling. And that slider is off the outside. 2-0 to Buster Posey.
Yeah, Water wanted that one. He took a long look.
Well, there's some rain showers in the forecast for tonight in the area. This is the first we've had. 2-0 the count. And a changeup for a strike. Buster Posey drives off the bat. Pablo Sandoval is on deck. So now the fans try to start to head for cover or make their own cover. And he got him off balance and another pop-up. Starlin Castro. And so Pagan, after the 1-out double, is stranded at second base. 2-0 Cubs.